Come on! Why aren't you answering the phone? Don't come running to me later, asking where your Americano is if you're gonna be like this. I even went out of my way to stop at a cafe and get you one as you requested. But since you're not picking up, I guess I'll simply drink them both. My own and yours. That's all right with you, right?
Kylie, please accept my heartfelt apologies. I couldn't access to my phone because I was in a series of meetings until just now. I saw a lot of missed calls from you. Is there a problem? Is there a problem or difficulty at work?
No, there is no issue. That's not the case. I only have a request for you. I just wanted to let you know that I placed all of my duties for the week on your desk, so please finish things by the weekend. I rely on you.
Excuse me?
I went out of my way to swing by a cafe and get you this Americano and all, but you wouldn't even pick up the phone. I'm sick of waiting for you. Therefore, I'm returning home. I'll delegate responsibility for the task I assigned you as well as everything else that arises in the office to you.
Hey, hold on a minute. I'm just getting back to my desk, and there's a massive mound of work waiting for me. I know you stated you wanted my favor, but this is excessive. You appear to have neglected practically every assignment that was assigned to you. To get everything done, I'd have to work overtime today and then come in on Saturday and Sundays. Well, oh my goodness. I thought you enjoyed it after a while.
So simply do that for me. Consider it recompense for everything I've done for you, such as purchasing this Americano.
What? Did I ever tell you how much I enjoy overtime? That does not sound at all familiar.
Yes, but unlike me, you are not a salaried employee. You get paid per hour. And you're merely a temporary employee, not a full-time employee. So, things are a little different. For you hourly workers, the more overtime you put in, the more money you get. So, you obviously enjoy it, right?
What do you mean?
Salaried employees like myself are given a fixed wage regardless of how many hours we work. So there's no point in me working myself to exhaustion. That is why I am leaving everything to you. You know, the one who requires extra hours. So make sure you put in plenty of extra hours and complete all of the things I assigned to you. Okay?
You do realize you're the one who should be doing these things, right? Anyway, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I won't be able to assist with any of the items you've placed on my desk. Okay, I'll put them all back on your desk.
What's going on? You're not going to assist me and accomplish those.
No way! I know I've been helping you out here and there before today, but now you're expecting me to do everything for you. That's where I'm going to have to draw the line. So simply enjoy your Americano or both of them and do your own work.
Seriously, what on earth is this? Why should I have to rob you of this? Who are you to say no and refuse to do what I tell you to do?
What exactly am I? So I guess I'd say I've been here a little longer than you. Seniority and such? Is that something you've heard before?
Even though you've been with us longer than I have, you're only an hourly employee. Temporary employee. I'm also a salaried employee. We're just on entirely different levels. There is no comparison. You can't go against what I say. You must work extra hours for me.
No way.
Not to mention that I have numerous crucial stops to make today. So I couldn't possibly stay and work overtime instead. I have a nail appointment, eyelash extensions, and a spa session scheduled. Basically, my schedules are always filled.
If these critical stops are all scheduled to pamper yourself, you may simply postpone.
No way. Are you mad? A little worried I won't be able to reschedule. I planned everything meticulously so that I could complete everything before the wedding party at the end of the month. So as I already stated, there is no way for me to change it now.
Which wedding reception?
Come on, you know what I mean. Our CO is getting married. And he's throwing a big party for the reception, and he's invited practically everyone in the firm. I'm sure there will be many of the boss's friends there, and I'm even more convinced they will all be great people. So I have to give it my all for the event. Because, as we all know, first impressions count the most.
Your enthusiasm and attention to detail are admirable, but how about dealing with the issue at hand? First, Do you like your job's residual tasks? I'm sure our CEO would be happier if you worked more instead of pampering yourself and looking for a husband.
Someone who doesn't have to worry about their appearance since they don't work at reception should take care of that work stuff for me, don't you think? Someone like, say, an hourly worker, and perhaps one past her prime? Do you get it?
Did you say that?
You won't be invited to the reception anyway, so you have all the time in the world, right? So hurry up and do what I said. Finish the task I left for you.
No. I don't have time to deal with other people's problems. People who are old have lives, too.
Let's get serious here. You are not married. When I was that age, you don't have that much going on in your life. Anyway, this is becoming tedious. Take care of your work, please.
What?
Even if you continue to say no, I'll just give you all of the work again on Mondays. Give up and get to work.
1 hour later.
Are you working overtime today, sis? We're getting ready to have dinner.
Yes, I still had this and that to deal with, so I ended up that way. Could you please place mine in the refrigerator? Sorry. I'll eat it as soon as I get home.
Yes, of course. But I think you've been working too many hours recently. Is everything in order? It's not like it's crunch time, but you're still working overtime every day. It's not like your department is working on a major project or something.
No, not at all. But let's just say I'm working late due to some interpersonal issues. But don't worry about me. How are the wedding preparations going? You've been visiting us frequently lately. What's the deal with Ruby? She's the bride-to-be, yet she seems to have vanished.
Ruby is currently on a business trip. So I've been handling all of the wedding preparations in her absence. I'll handle it. Because the wedding hall is close to home, it's difficult to resist stopping by for some of Mom's cuisine after I've finished with wedding preparation meetings.
I'm relieved that everything appears to be going swimmingly. Many colleagues expressed their eagerness to attend the party.
We're only doing the reception as a big celebration rather than a smaller gathering because Dad kept telling me that I should go big or go home. But if all of our staff are looking forward to it, I think I'll have to do my best to impress.
Yeah, when it comes to special occasions, Dad has always been a fan of luxury. Don't worry, Mom and I will make sure we stay right next to him on the big day. We'll both be keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't drink too much and raise a commotion.
You guys are amazing. With Dad's personality, I'm sure if no one was watching, he'd try to be the main attraction at my wedding.
True, but it was the main character syndrome that enabled him to expand the company so swiftly. But I have to get back to work, so I'll talk to you later.
Please try not to remain too late.
On the wedding day.
Just a second, Elmira. What are you doing here, an hourly temp working hag? Nobody invited you. Outsiders must hurry up and leave. Over there is the door.
You're extremely rude. You could ask respectfully, and you're not going to apologize? You splattered wine all over my gown, and now you want me to leave. Who would do such a thing?
All I did was point you in the right direction. I won't say sorry, but I will say you're welcome. I have to say, seeing you all dripping wet in wine, it fits someone like you perfectly.
What did you just say?
You're just a temp, but you have the audacity to show up here and try to enjoy the party. You're brave, and it is not a compliment. Really, I mean it. You should be more self-conscious and aware of your position in the pecking order at your age.
I have no problem knowing where I belong. That is why I'm here in front of you right now.
This is so embarrassing. Don't tell me yet. Are you actively looking for a husband right now? I understand that being alone at night can be lonely, but come on. It's difficult to see you right now since you're acting so desperate.
What do you mean?
But I guess I can't say I blame you for being so desperate. You are, after all, nearly middle-aged. Despite this, you are still not qualified for a full-time salaried position and are only working on an hourly basis. I'm guessing your future was looking gloomy, so you decided to seize a fairly good man while you still had the chance, right? You don't care who evaluates you. You're just gonna put yourself out there and hunt, huh?
Kylie, I believe you have a misunderstanding here. I'm not at the wedding reception looking for a husband.
What's the point? You mean you're just here to have fun? You just came here to congratulate our boss because you wanted to? That's your game. You're gonna use all of those best wishes to curry favor with him so that you can be promoted to full-fledged salaried employee.
What's that?
That makes total sense. True, I mean it. As a temp, you do not receive any benefits. I'm sure you can't take being in your 30s without those kinds of employment perks. It has to be awful.
I've tried to explain that's not why I'm here. You simply do not understand.
Sorry for derailing your grand scheme to swindle our boss. But guess what? I truly don't think you'd be happy as a full-time salaried employee. You know what I mean? For you, I believe that being an unhappy, pitiful temp worker in your 30s is the finest appearance. Continue to be yourself, a little errand girl. Perhaps maid is a better term.
Excuse me?
So, maybe I was wrong about why you came here. But I'd still think I nailed it when I flung that wine at you. You're way past your prime, and the only thing you're competent at is being told what to do. You should simply leave and go home. This is not an event for you.
Are you certain you want me to leave? Should I just go out?
I'm certain. Get your feet moving. This was meant to be a high-end event where we could party and have fun. But now the vibes are disrupted because someone let riff-raff like you in here.
I imagine the groom's sister will just pack up and leave. On my way out, I'll just say hi to the bride and groom.
Huh. What exactly do you mean, the groom's sister?
It hasn't been pleasant conversing with you. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. You can't just walk away after dropping that kind of bomb. You need to explain things a little more. You don't mean what I think you mean, do you, by the groom's sister? Don't tell me you're the sister of our CEO. No way, right?
Sure thing. Isn't that what that would imply? My father was the previous CEO, and my younger brother, William, is the present CEO. There's even a spot in the first row of sitting over there where the groom's family sits waiting for me.
What? Did you say front row?
But with my outfit like this, it doesn't appear like I'll be able to attend the reception. Not to add, you've repeatedly told me that someone like me should just go home. So, it's a shame, but I'll do as you requested and return home.
Hold on a second. You weren't serious about anything you said, right? That was just a joke you made up on the spur of the moment, right? Because, well, having a random temp worker as the CEO's older sister is insane. That makes absolutely no sense.
If you don't trust me, ask any of our coworkers. The majority of our company's employees are aware of it. Kaylee, you're the only one who didn't appear to notice no matter how much time passed.
What? You had to be kidding. Please wait. Except for me, everyone was aware of this. And they didn't even bother to inform me. No one told me.
That's because I informed them they didn't have to go out of their way to defend or explain who it was. Everyone just left you to fend for yourself?
You're joking, right?
For my part, I didn't want to throw my weight around merely because my father and brother both work in senior management. Our coworkers were all incredibly understanding and followed my instructions.
But wait, I just had an idea. Why are you working as an hourly temp while everyone in your family is in management? I mean, aren't you the daughter of a former CEO and the older sister of the current CEO? In most circumstances, you'd be at least a director. Or a business executive? Something.
You see, before he came here, I was the head of our department. But what about my father, the ex-CEO? His health has been deteriorating in recent years. He's fine most of the time, but he does require someone to accompany him to hospital visit. And lately, he's had more times where he's needed to be admitted on short notice. So I didn't think twice about accepting a temporary position, and now I'm taking use of the more flexible work schedule to take days off whenever I need to.
That's how it was.
Everyone felt a little weird around me at first after I switched from department head to this part-time position. But the other employees who, like me, have had to reduce their hours or work in certain jobs due to family difficulties loved seeing that I'd done the same thing. They are constantly telling me how much easier it is for them to take time off now. Or they remark that because they only work part-time, they don't have to waste as much time at the workplace. It feels like I'm still contributing to the firm by being in this position and supporting hourly and part-time employees, which is okay with me.
You do spend a lot of time with the other temporary employees, now that you mention it. I thought you were all just consoling each other for being at the bottom of the food chain.
What would we need to be consoled about? Our temporary staff are equally vital to the company's success. It is up to the individual whether they wish to be a full-time salary employee or an hour part-time employee. What gives you the right to belittle and disparage them? You had no right to pour alcohol on me.
Oh, that was simply a mistake.
Please pardon me while I finish this sentence. I hope you found a nice high-valued man here. 15 minutes later.
Let's go, sis. I keep promising you, I'll borrow a dress from the event hall for you to change into. You have no reason to leave? Come back soon? You'll still make it in time for the actual reception if you return now.
Thank you incredibly much, William. I'm grateful. However, it appears that several people at the party are uncomfortable with my presence, so I'm going to go home after all.
As soon as you told me what had transpired, I fired that employee. So hurry. I'm sure no one else is bothered by your presence. Please don't think about it any longer and return to the event hall.
What? You evicted Kaylee?
Naturally, I did. That lady dumped red wine on the groom's sister. She was also very rude about it. I witnessed her misbehavior firsthand.
Oh, man. It's a little awkward that you witnessed all of this.
Other staff had also told me about her. Isn't it Callie's fault that you've had to work so much overtime lately? They said they observed her packing you up with all of her work. Why didn't you inform me?
I just thought it would be better if she could come to her senses and stop being such a jerk on her. Own. Even if she knew I was your sister, it wouldn't compel her to change her ways. Instead, she'd start targeting another part-timer. So I assumed I'd be her punching bag for the time being.
You do not have to make such a sacrifice. I can't let it all go. Not as your brother, and certainly not as our company's CEO. As soon as this reception is finished, I'm going to start planning her punishment.
I'll leave you to it if that's what the CEO wants. Just be certain that you do the proper thing and do not dishonor the position. It's not a good idea to mix personal feelings with work.
That is true. You're not required to remind me. But now I want you to help your little brother. I beseech you, return to the event hall. It'll be a dreadful excuse for a reception if you're not present. Not to mention that you are the only one who can help Dad.
Huh? Don't tell me your father has already started drinking and embarrassing himself?
His main character syndrome reared its ugly head again. Over here, I'm at a loss for words. He's ranting about how, now that things have gone so wrong, he'll pour wine on his head to keep you company. Right now, Mom is doing everything she can to stop him. Everything is in disarray.
You can't possibly be serious.
But I believe he is also upset at Kylie in his own way. He stated that he would not tolerate that woman humiliating you in such a way. But, as usual, he continued on and ended up far over in left field.
Okay then, I'll return there, and I'm going to take you up on that dress offer, so be prepared. In addition, I believe that changing into a different clothing is the finest method to calm Dad down.
Really? Are you truly returning right now? You're not kidding, right?
I can't just let my little brother's wedding event devolve into a fiery ball of turmoil. Okay then, I'll be right there, so make sure you have that dress ready and a place for me to change. The next day...
Please, Elmira, you have to assist me. I got a voicemail at work this morning telling me to go to the law office. When I arrived, I was informed that a decision had been made to move me to a branch office. Worse, it won't be like here, where it's nice and easy to do office job behind the scenes. I'll have to go out in the field more often from now on. I don't know what to say. Isn't this all because I spilt wine on you yesterday?
I'm afraid I can't help you with your situation. If you have anything you want to say to help your case, try telling the CEO directly.
You know I'm not capable of doing it. Our boss is never going to listen to me or anything I have to say.
But from what I recall, you got to speak with him in person yesterday, didn't you? Something along the lines of, get out of here, right this minute. You could say you're already acquainted, so you never know, he might just listen.
What are you talking about? You must not have seen the boss's face when he instructed me to leave. I've never seen somebody become so enraged that their face turned crimson and twisted out so much. And then, When I looked behind him, I noticed the former CO staring at me with the same expression. I mean, I very much bolted out of there. How terrified do you think I was to flee a wedding reception hall? And now you want me to beg?
Please accept my apologies for this. We're all a little hot under the collar. You know how easy it is to get angry? But in reality, they both adore their families. They're decent men.
I'm confident the CEO decided to demote me on his own. He was furious with me, so he had me demoted and sent to the sucky post. Do you know what it's like in the branch office where I'm being transferred? Everyone claims that no female staff work at that branch. There are just men working there, and it's a demanding job.
That implies you'll be the only girl in a room full of men. That sounds fantastic to me. You can choose from among them. You said you were looking for someone, didn't you? This transfer appears to be working out in your advantage.
No way. I'm looking for a high-value male who lives in a metropolitan high-rise. That is the type of man I would like to meet and fall in love with. It's either that or nothing at all. But instead of meeting a guy like him at the party yesterday, as intended, I was chased out and didn't even get to exchange numbers with anyone. And now, on top of being humiliated yesterday, the first thing I hear today is that I'm being sent somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Things could not be getting any worse. Please, please. Elmira, take action. Can you help me? Find a way to persuade the CEOs that he will forgive me. Please.
What are you expecting me to do?
If you help me now, I promise not to make any negative remarks about you again. I also will not leave you to complete my duties. Instead, I'll do your task. Please, please, I beg of you, please assist me so that our boss's decision to transfer me is reversed.
I'm truly sorry, Kylie. Whatever I say, I have a feeling my brother will not reverse his decision to move you. He appears to be far more upset than you believe.
Oh no, really?
In addition to my CO brother, there is a former CO who is also furious with you. Even though he is a former CO, my father still has considerable power within the company. According to stories, he stormed into the HR office, demanding at them to terminate you right away.
Are you certain?
So, in my opinion, the fact that you still have a job is a victory. And my brother William isn't a jerk. I'm sure if you work hard and do well at your position, he'll allow you return back to the main office at some point.
You must be kidding. When you say show positive results, do you mean I'll have to work my butt off? No way! I could never do that. I don't want to do anything stupid like work.
What do you mean? You've come to do your job. If not to work, why did you apply for this job?
Okay. But I've been attempting to get by doing as little as possible. So, things have been quiet up until now, and I've been kind of just getting other people to perform my work for me. And I meant that it's a little late to change all of that now. All I want is to acquire that great, comfortable full-time job and spend money on whatever I want. I just want to relax.
Since you mentioned it, I've heard that the branch office you'll be working at has a policy in which the fixed overtime bonus is not automatically included in your salary. So if you really want the money, you'll have to put in the overtime hours and earn the bonus on your own. Your own?
What? I know you're joking now. Doesn't the absence of the overtime bonus imply that my overall compensation will be lower? With my present salary, I can barely afford to get my nails done, go to the spa, or have my eyelashes done.
So I suppose this is a nice chance for you. This shift can help you reconsider your spending habits and how to be a better employee. And now, Kylie, I wish you the best of luck with your transfer to the branch office. Take care. I'll be hoping that eventually you'll change your ways and come back here. After that, Kaylee was promptly delegated to the branch office. It's true that only guys are present at that spot, and if I had to describe them, I'd say they're all a little intimidating. But aside from their appearances, they're all fantastic at their jobs and among the best in their fields. Kaylee, no matter how hard she tries, can't keep up with their speed or powers. Every day she bursts into tears in the office. I heard that as a final resort, she tried to bribe the personnel there by promising to do anything for them if they helped her with her work. All they did was advise her not to expect to be spoilt or treated differently just because she is, woman because our culture is striving towards gender equality. They even kicked her while she was down and reminded her that if she had the audacity to pour wine on the CO's sister, working hard and doing her job effectively should be a piece of cake. Every day since then, she's been worked to the bone with hard training.
Good day, Miyuki. What are you up to now?
Hello there, Diana. I was about to leave to go shopping. I need to go grocery shopping for tonight's meal. Did you require my assistance with anything?
You're going to the supermarket at this hour? Isn't it becoming late? That implies you haven't even begun to prepare dinner for tonight.
I haven't even gotten home yet because I just finished working. Actually, I'm about to begin driving to the grocery shop from work. Is there anything more I should know?
I can't believe you're still working this late. You should devote your entire time to being a full-time housewife. Are you certain you're getting all of your chores and cooking done properly? You must not be slack. If you are, I will not forgive you.
I'm not doing anything slack. My husband and I agreed that I would continue to work at home even after we married. He stated that he would assist me with housework and cooking. That is why I'm not a full-time housewife.
I believe you should concentrate only on being a housewife. You're still not pregnant since you're still working? I'm getting a little tired of waiting for you to give birth to my grandson. I want to visit my grandchildren while I can. It's entirely your fault. A nicer woman would have already given me a grandchild.
Did you call solely to say that? Is that all you've got to say to me?
You're quite arrogant. How dare you respond to me in that way?
I'm sorry, but I don't have the time to talk to you about something that isn't urgent. Is it all right if we talk later? When I have some free time?
It's a true emergency. I'd like to speak with you about it right now. It's about the money you send me each month. I'd like you to send me $2,000 instead of $1,000.
What happened? Why do you suddenly need more money?
The $1,000 you've been sending me is simply insufficient. Every month I require more funds to spend. All I want is that you boost the money you send me to $2,000. You're the one in charge of your and Harry's earnings, right? I know you're a useless wife, but you're managing the finances, right? It is the wife's responsibility to manage the household finances.
I handle the money. You require me to send you more money all of a sudden. I believe that $1,000 is a really substantial sum of money to send you. Your husband is still working as well. You shouldn't be in such financial distress.
We're not in any financial difficulty. It's just not enough. Why are you being so obstinate? It costs only $2,000. Do you give a damn about your mother-in-law?
I don't dislike you. It's just that I think we're being really generous by providing you $1,000 every month in financial assistance. We must also save for our future, especially if we intend to have children. Didn't we just raise the sum we provided you from $600 to $1,000? I think it will be difficult to spend more than $1,000.
Why are you so frugal with such a small sum of money? Just give me $2,000 directly from your paycheck. The problem has been resolved.
You know that's not going to happen. Please, no more questions. I have already stated that I will not give you more than $1,000.
I'm sure you make a good. You don't need to be so self-centered. You may easily cover your living bills and rent with your paycheck alone. Instead, you can send me $2,000 from Harry's pay.
You've gone insane. Do you realize how ridiculous your suggestion is?
I'm not crazy. You should simply pay attention to what I'm saying. As your mother-in-law, I expect you to be more respectful.
It's not that I don't respect you. I'm just saying that we're not in a position to provide you with $2,000 per month in financial assistance.
Okay then, I'd like you to divorce Harry.
Wait, what? Are you certain?
You don't give me any cash. You also do not become pregnant. I want to abuse my daughter-in-law the way you do. I want to see my grandchildren, and I want money. Get a divorce from my son if you can't do your job properly. I'm going to request that he locate a better woman to marry than you. I want a daughter-in-law who is respectful to me and follows my commands.
I can't believe you're talking to me like that. We haven't even begun to consider having children. We intended to save money for ourselves before starting our own family. We'll never be able to save any money if we keep increasing our financial assistance to you. You're one of the reasons we haven't begun trying for a baby yet.
Stop creating such ridiculous excuses. All I need is for you to send me the $2,000. You're not pregnant because you work full-time. What is the point? I'm sure your pay is pitiful.
Everything you're saying to me is completely ridiculous. You want me to divorce Harry because I won't increase the amount of money we send you?
A daughter-in-law who does not listen to her mother-in-law is a complete failure. You're a total waste of time. Get divorced as soon as possible.
I didn't expect you to go so far. This time, you've really stepped over the line.
Stop interrupting me and shut up. Just do as I say. Increase the amount of money you send me each month to $2,000.
Sorry, but that is not an option. If you really need the money, get out and earn it.
Stop being so cocky. You're not even making half of what Harry is. If you're not going to send me $2,000, seek a divorce right away.
That's all. I've got enough of you mistreating me. I'm getting a divorce.
Wait, what? What?
Yes, I am serious. I'm going to go to Harry and ask for a divorce. Isn't this what you're looking for? You don't want me to be your in-law's daughter?
What are you thinking? All you have to do is give me some additional cash. I can't believe you decided to get a divorce from him. I suppose you never really loved him in the first place.
Please stop talking. I'm sick and weary of having to talk to you.
What exactly did you say to me? What are you thinking? I'm your in-law's mom. Show me some respect.
Don't be concerned. You won't be my mother-in-law for long. I just informed you I'm getting divorced because you told me to. I've had enough of you. I don't want to stay married if you continue to treat me like this. You're doing much too much harm to my mental health and bank account. I'd much rather be single once more. I'm going to divorce Harry. You're going to be the one to explain why we're getting divorced. You'll have to admit that it was your fault.
Are you serious about blaming me for everything?
I'm not blaming you. This is completely your responsibility. I recently informed Harry that I intend to divorce him. You no longer need to be concerned about having me as your daughter-in-law. I'm packing my belongings and leaving right away.
Good. Never come back. That's what you get for defying me. I'm never going to see your face again.
1 hour later.
Mickey, what are you doing? Now's the time to pick up the phone. I need to speak with you. Are you paying attention?
What do you expect of me? I don't want to hear any more of your slurs. I assumed you didn't want to see or speak with me again. Please stop phoning.
I didn't want to talk to you. Just that Harry is furious with me. What makes him so upset with me?
Are you stupid? Do you really have no idea why he's so upset? He's enraged because you forced us to divorce.
It's not my fault. It's yours. This would not have happened if you had simply agreed to pay me $2,000 every month. In any case, the funds are all coming from Harry's income. I'm not sure why you were so frugal.
You are, in fact, incorrect. All of the money we sent you came from my income.
Is that correct? You must be deceiving me.
I'm not deceiving you. Harry just started a new job. He does not make a lot of money.
What do you mean?
One of his pals asked him to help create a company. They're probably still in the planning stages.
What exactly do you mean by this? I'm not getting it.
It suggests he isn't yet receiving a regular paycheck. They are just getting started. He's still going through a rough patch. That is why I was the one who sent you all of the financial assistance.
Well, I had no idea.
Do you understand why he didn't tell you? He knew you'd be opposed him changing jobs. You always exaggerate the most insignificant details and start spreading rumors to everyone. That's probably why Harry didn't tell you he resigned his steady job.
What's the story with that tongue?
I'm simply speaking the truth. I'm not making any mistakes. I was the one who gave him money. We were collaborating so that he could concentrate on launching the new company with his friends. Then, out of nowhere, I decided to divorce him. That's why he's mad at you.
So you're blaming me for everything?
Who do you believe is to blame? It's clear that you're to blame here. You told me I should get a divorce if I didn't want to send you more money? That's something I've never heard anyone say. I can't believe you put me in this situation.
I didn't expect you'd get a divorce. All of that was merely to get you to pay me a little more money every month. I also know you have no intention of divorcing Harry. You're only saying that to worry me?
I am considering obtaining a divorce. I suppose I may finally tell you the truth. Having you as a mother-in-law is incredibly difficult. Seeing your name in my alerts usually makes my day miserable. I was also giving you $1,000 per month from my own earnings. I have no issues with Harry. I wouldn't mind marrying him if it weren't for you. I simply cannot bear the thought of being married to you as my mother-in-law.
Hold on a second. Please hurry up and return home. Harry is enraged, and I'm at a loss for words.
I'll return home under one condition. You cut ties with both of us completely. If that isn't doable, I'm not returning.
What exactly are you saying? I'm not sure what you mean.
I was just telling Harry the same thing. If he entirely cuts relations with you, I will remain married to him.
That is absolutely not going to happen. I am not breaking off contact with my own son. Remember how we're a family? Stop expecting us to do something we can't.
Family, please quit making fun of me. I never want to have to deal with you as a family member again.
Why must you say that to me? That is extremely offensive.
Insulting? What about going over the text messages you sent me today? That is the definition of insulting.
Okay, good. I'll admit that I may have talked too much to you. Nonetheless, you're my daughter-in-law. I should be able to tell you whatever I want.
You should not be able to say whatever you want to me. Harry just texted me. We've chosen to end our relationship with you totally.
What did you say?
I also recently discovered that you've been keeping your husband in the dark about the fact that you've been receiving financial assistance from us.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Your husband was apparently perplexed as to why you were purchasing so many new items. You've been buying high-end apparel with the money I've been providing you.
What's that? How did I find out about that? Who informed you?
Your husband told me everything. He inquired as to why you were suddenly purchasing so many high-end clothes, goods. Did you just ignore him? I assume you couldn't tell him how much money you're collecting from me. After all, you were utilizing it all on your own.
I'm extremely sorry. I didn't intend to spend it completely alone. It's just that the apparel was more pricey than I anticipated. I just wanted some cash to spend on myself. That's why I asked for a bit more money every month.
That is a truly selfish excuse. However, I'm not surprised. You are, after all, that type of person.
What exactly do you mean by this? I apologize to you already.
By the way, your husband has informed me that I should stop sending you guys money. He told me that receiving money from his daughter-in-law would make him feel awful. For the time being, I've decided to discontinue sending you any cash assistance.
What did you just say? You can't quit sending me money.
I may consider sending financial assistance straight to your husband in the future because I have faith in him. I will never send you another dime. As I have stated, I will also sever all relations with you.
Are you really attempting to get rid of me?
This was a joint decision between Harry and me. I'm going back to living with him. This is the last time I'll ever talk to you. It was great getting to know you.
Wait a minute. If you disconnect me, I won't have any money to spend on myself. I won't even be able to spend time with my buddies.
If you really need the money, get a job. I hope you haven't had to do much housekeeping lately. You must have a lot of spare time.
I don't want to go back to work. Also, please do not sever ties with me. I've decided that you will be my daughter-in-law. Please continue to provide me financial assistance. I've now recognized what a fantastic person you are.
It's pointless sucking up to me at this point. I'm still going to cut all relations with you. If you absolutely need the money, I urge that you return to work. Please do not contact me again.
After that, Diana was no longer financially supported by Harry and Miyuki. She no longer had any money to buy attractive clothes or go out to supper with her pals. Diana had to borrow money from a friend in order to continue living her own life. Her husband grew furious when he discovered how much money she had borrowed from her pals. He told her to take charge and repay her pals with her own money. Diana needed to work because she had no savings. Diana recognized how difficult it was to earn even $2,000 every month.
Hey, Hazel. We need to talk. Text me right back when you got the message.
Zoe? How are you doing? What can I help you, Mom?
Oh, you've replied. Thanks God. But what happened with your work?
I'm actually in the middle of work now. But I'm just taking a quick coffee break. I thought I'd reply back since it seemed a bit urgent. So what is this all about?
Well, that's funny. I was under the assumption that you had finally submitted your resignation letter or something. I thought you would have quit your job.
Well, I do like my job here. So why do you text me?
Well, I do expect you to do as you're told, seeing as you're my daughter-in-law. If I tell you to reply to my text messages, I expect an immediate reply. If I tell you to cook for me, then you'd cook for me right away. Isn't that what respecting your in-laws is all about?
Right. So, is there something you want to tell me?
By the way, let me tell you something I heard on a TV show the other day.
Okay.
So apparently young people these days have a sneaky way of reading text messages without having to actually read the text. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm not so sure.
Meaning that the recipient will be able to read the texts without the sender finding out. I suppose it's so that the sender won't be bothered if they get a late reply. Well, I can't think of any other reason as to why anyone wouldn't reply to a text immediately, but to each their own.
Oh, I know that trick.
Well, I'm glad that you're not the type of person to do that.
Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry for going off track. I just forget things in a split second even during mid-conversation. So I'm actually at your house at the moment.
Really? What are you doing there? Is Peter with you?
Actually, Peter is at work now. So I'll wait till he gets home. I know Peter tells me he's fine on the phone, but you never really know how someone's doing until you've seen and spoken to them in person, right? So I just come over and see how he is doing. I hope that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you come round to the house at least every month. So it'll be weird if you stopped coming over. Anyway, what can I do for you here? Did you want to ask me something?
Oh, I didn't know that it was a problem for me to see my son.
Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that. I can absolutely understand how worried you'd be when your son is not in your sight. If I were you, I would be worried too.
Peter is my beloved son. I'd fall sick if I don't see him for even just a day. Once you have children, you will understand, Hazel.
Yeah.
By the way, do you plan to have a baby?
Oh, what's that?
Oh, I went off track again. Sorry.
I think you texted me to either ask me something or.
That's right.
I'm all ears.
What time are you coming home tonight?
Let me check my planner. Hold on a second. Okay, I should be home at around 6:30 p.m. tonight. Would you like to stay at ours for dinner?
Oh, no need to worry about that. I'll cook for all of us tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. My husband loves your dishes you cook.
Yeah. But I need you to buy something before you come home. Is that okay?
Sure. What do you need?
First, 5 kilograms of cheese.
What? 5 kilograms?
Yes, why not?
Do you really need much cheese to cook for dinner?
Yeah, just by what I say. Second, 5 kilograms of pasta.
I think these are too much for 3 of us.
What? Don't be silly. I have my way of cooking.
So, you really need all of that?
What's wrong with you? If I didn't, why I have to ask you to buy?
But what do you need it for? Because it doesn't sound like you need all of that for just a meal for 3 people.
Well, you're right about that. I'd be crazy to have all of that for just a family meal.
Then what are they for?
It's to give to my neighbors as Christmas gifts.
Christmas gifts?
Yes. I have no idea what some of them need or want. And I don't intend to overthink it since they're just for my neighbors. Anyone could use more cheese and pasta, right? So it's a perfect idea for a gift. Do you think so?
Yeah, I see.
I did that last Christmas and everyone seemed to love it. Don't worry, dear. Just get them for me and that'll be all right.
Okay. But by the way, is there a specific brand or type of cheese you want me to get?
Feel free to choose whichever one you like. I don't mind that. Oh, I almost forgot. Could you also get 10 cans of chopped tomatoes? Choose whichever one is the cheapest.
Okay, pasta and cheapest can of chopped tomatoes.
And get around 20 empty cardboard boxes.
20 boxes?
Yeah. Thanks, darling. You're a sweetheart.
Zoe? What is all this?
What?
What's all this in front of the house? These pile of boxes and bags with things inside?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, could you come and open the door, please? My hands are full and you've got to see this for yourself.
Oh, I can't, darling. I'm a bit tied up here.
Okay, well now I've looked inside and a lot of these things are mine. In fact, they're all mine. Who did this?
I honestly have no idea. I just remember throwing out some trash. Were they yours? Oh, I'm sorry, Hazel. Peter and I thought they were all trash, so we just put them all out.
Trash? What the heck are you doing?
Excuse me? What is it with all of the profanity all of a sudden?
No, it's not all of a sudden. I've been nice to you all these years. But this is the last straw. No more playing nice to you. I've had enough with your harassment.
Well, if you are going to be that way, let me tell you something. I'll let you know how much I've hated your guts. I never liked you since Pete introduced me to you. So it's about time you got what you deserved. I knew Peter should have never married a foolish woman like you.
Me? Am I the one who threw all of someone's things out on the streets? No. That's you.
See? That filthy mouth of yours. I hope it hasn't rubbed off onto Peter as well. You're a terrible influence on him.
I'm the terrible influence? How about you for being the big old cockalorum?
What? Please don't be so dramatic. All I'm saying is that ever since Pete married you, he hardly comes to visit me at my house. And then over the past year, we've started spending some more time together for some reason. And I realized that all this time you were the one holding him back from seeing me.
A year ago? Right, well that makes sense.
How does that make sense? What do you mean?
Oh, never mind.
This is you. You're pulling the strings behind my back. Torturing me. Keeping my son away from me. Those boxes are there so that you can move out of this house and leave me and my family alone.
What? Are you being serious?
When are you ever going to get it into your head that a wife is to stay at home and be a good housewife? But look at you. Always talking about work and work. As if you don't have a family to take care of. Poor Peter. He looks after him while you're at work.
What? He's a 38-year-old man. He's perfectly capable of taking care of himself on his own. Besides, what kind of conservative values do you have? Maybe in your days, you had to be a boring stay-at-home wife. But if you step outside into the real world, things are way different. You're way behind. Most married couples have jobs. It's called having a double income. Ever heard of it?
Well, that doesn't explain why you have to be so ugly.
Excuse me?
That's right. Had you been slightly prettier or even nice to look at? I wouldn't have to say this out loud, but look at you. There's nothing in you that makes people want to get to know you. There's nothing in you that would make people compliment you. I can't believe that my handsome son is married to an ugly cow like you.
How superficial and materialistic can you be? And you think you're one to talk? Who do you think you are?
Well, you clearly don't even have any talents either. The meals you cook are always mediocre at best. The housework is never done perfectly. What kind of man would want to be with someone like you? So take those boxes with you and leave us alone. And the cheese and pasta and everything else that you brought back. I will tell Peter to get divorced with you.
What? Divorce?
Yes. You can never step inside our house. But if you are about to beg me, I'll tell you that. Peter will hold off on the divorce if you change your attitude and become a better wife to him.
What? Peter? That idiot of a husband who earns chump change?
How dare you speak about my son like that? Let alone your husband. You're crazy.
It's funny, though, Zoe. Your Peter's always been a mama's boy. I thought he'd grow some balls once we got married. But clearly he hasn't. I can't imagine living with him for the rest of my life. So I'll happily divorce him. Let me get rid of him along with the house. That's what I call killing two birds with one stone.
Hold on a second. Selling the house? Why would you do that? Are you insane?
This house is mine. My grandparents refurbished it. What made you think it belonged to Peter with his income? No way he can afford to live here.
What? That can't be true. He told me it was his house.
You can ask him again. Maybe this man forget the most important part. Your son earns less than his wife and he's a liar. Are you proud of him?
How dare you?
By the way, you may move out of the house now. You better move out of my house. This house is already up for sale. So it won't be too long till the new owner takes over. It'll take just about a month till the new owner gets the key to the house.
A month? How do you expect us to find a place and move out in a month? Since when did you put the house up for sale?
Since I found out that you and Peter were trying to sabotage me. You're not as loved by your family as much as you think you are, Zoe.
What do you mean?
Let's just say that I had a helping hand.
Who is that?
To know this, you'd better ask your husband.
My husband? Why is he involved in these things?
Father-in-law is a very kind person. It's him who told me about your plan to force me away my house.
What? What a jerk!
Don't say that. I will bring father-in-law to live with me. You always look down on him, he never needs a wife like you. So, now. Move away my house. Pack your things and leave my house, you cow.
Is that why you were acting so weird earlier? All of those weird, strange reactions you were giving, it's because you knew what was coming? And you were hiding it from me?
Oh, that was fun trying to wind you up. And you know what? I even bought anything at supermarket. No can, no box, and no cheese.
You.
Don't make me say it again. Pack up and leave.
What? Why all these things happen all of a sudden? I can't get it.
You spoil Peter to be a mama boy. And these all things are the outcome you got. You guys are meant to stay together longer. Good luck.
Hazel. I'm not done with you yet. I never forgive you.
My life now is free. But I regret to spend precious time in my life for such toxic people. After that, I blocked Zoe's number just to avoid having any contact with her. My father-in-law apparently got the gossip about them from the old neighbors. According to that, my ex-husband Peter's been fired from his job. And it looks like he's struggling to find a new one. To make ends meet, Zoe had to take a part-time work at the serving customers. She worked all day and night. Well, how pathetic. Despite having lost my marriage, at least I have my kind father-in-law. I'm so—
Galvin. I'll be out today, okay? I'll see you later tonight.
What are you doing going out now?
Yup. Just for a little while.
Where are you going in such a hurry?
Oh, now we're special. A friend of mine invited me to a restaurant with an all-you-can-eat dessert buffet. There's even a discount if you travel in a party of 2 or more.
You're going out to eat again?
Like I said, it's not a huge issue. I just like to eat.
That friend you're referring to.
She's the girl I'm always telling you about, stupid. The one with a self-proclaimed iron stomach.
Okay then. I'll believe you on that. Aside from that, do you remember what day it is?
Of course I know, foolish. It's Christmas Eve.
That's not precisely what I meant, but it is.
I can't believe I forgot about the seasonal promotion at the buffet I'm heading to. Today is the last day of the buffet, so I really need to go or I'll miss out.
But you're aware that something else is going on today, aren't you? Apart from Christmas Eve and other holiday deals.
Aside from Christmas Eve, you mean? It's not exactly jingling bells for me.
You have no idea what I'm talking about?
Oh. Of course, I understand what you mean.
Are you certain?
Yeah. I'm with you, so don't say anything else. I assure you won't have to worry. I'll be home in time for dinner.
Speaking of which, if you're going out this afternoon, how is Alice? She said she'd complete her Christmas break schoolwork with a friend at their house today, correct?
That's right. I texted her to meet me at your mother's place once she finished her studies for the day. She sent me a thumbs up emoji, so I guess the message got through. And, of course, I told your mother to expect Alice this afternoon.
Did you do it? Thank you for the update.
We're having a full dinner today, complete with chicken and cake, right? I'm very excited. I'm going to eat till my trousers buttons come off.
The fact that you're saying it while on your way to a buffet confirms my suspicion that you're the one with an iron stomach. You know, traditionally, before a big, celebratory dinner, people fast so they can really taste the particular meal.
Yes, but remember that I'm the type of person that doesn't gain weight no matter how much they eat? So everything is well.
That's something I can't argue with. Just do me a favor and limit your food intake tonight. Please don't overdo it. I'm counting on you.
Whatever you say.
You're laughing, but I'm dead serious about what I just stated. Okay, I must return to work. We'll talk afterwards.
Okay, best of luck over there. I'm going out, so I'll see you later tonight.
I'm truly sorry. It appears that I will not be returning home until much later than I had hoped.
Is there something going on? Is everything all right?
We're having some problems here at the workplace, and it appears that I'm the only one who can have it all fixed and taken care of by tonight.
Oh no. That sounds like a nightmare.
The good news is that I figured out what was causing the problem and how to solve it. Now I just have to do the troubleshooting. To be honest, this thing is shaping up to be a real thorn in my side. I guess I'll be working extra hours tonight.
That appears to be the only thing you can do right now, doesn't it? So, what should we do about our dinner plans in that case? It's too late to cancel the cake and chicken and everything else, so it's probably already on its way here.
If you wait for me, you'll undoubtedly be starving by the time I get home, so I suggest the two of you eat without me.
That's terrific.
Okay, the sooner I finish this, the sooner I'll be home and eating, so I should get back to work.
Yeah. Good luck. We'll be waiting.
Is today a good moment to speak, Galvin?
So, what's up, Mom?
You're not working at this hour, are you?
I just got out of the office and am now warming up the car.
Oh, my. Don't tell me you had to work overtime today?
I'm sorry to say it, but that's exactly what happened. I had planned to leave at my usual time, but we ran into some unanticipated problems at work, and none of my coworkers were acquainted enough with the project to manage it, so it very much rested on my shoulders.
That is regrettable.
On the positive side, I finished correcting everything an hour earlier than I had anticipated.
That explains why you didn't show up to pick up Alice this afternoon, as I expected you to.
Huh? But didn't Irene come over to take her up from your house?
I waited and waited for Irene, but she never showed up. I tried calling her several times, but she never answered, and she hasn't returned my messages.
I don't think so.
Alice informed me she could walk home alone herself, but she's still in primary school. I didn't want to leave her alone in an empty house.
No, seriously. What became of Irene? She said she was heading to a restaurant with a dessert buffet today, but I'm sure she'd be done by now.
Galvin, pay attention to what I'm saying. Do you believe this has anything to do with Irene's feelings for Alice?
What exactly do you mean?
I'm not sure how to say it, or if it's even appropriate, but I'm Alice's grandmother, and you're her uncle. Our shared blood binds the three of us together, and blood, as they say, is thicker than water. Irene, on the other hand, is a little different.
Oh, okay, I guess you're correct.
On top of that, I believe Alice is still recuperating from what her parents did to her. She's young, and I don't think she's had time to recover from the affair or Sarah and Louis's divorce. Despite the fact that you and Irene opted to adopt her and treat her as if she were a daughter rather than a niece. Isn't this your first holiday season with her, and her first Christmas since what happened with her parents?
That's right. I thought she was doing a good job overall, but I've been preoccupied with work recently.
I understand that the circumstance was terrible, but for any child to be taken away from not just one, but both of its parents is heartbreaking. There is nothing more painful than this. As a result, I want you and Irene to be able to fill the emptiness in Alice's heart with wonderful memories, making this feel like a true second shot at a happy family.
Of course, that is exactly what I desire. I think we're an odd family, and we're definitely going through some growing pains, but I'm going to give it my all. That kid is deserving of nothing but the best.
I see.
Let me try talking to Irene again. I'm confident I'll be able to reach her.
Please notify me if anything unusual occurs. I'll always be available to give you my opinion on the subject, okay?
Thank you so much, Mom. By the way, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you please care after Alice for a few more hours tonight?
Sure, but why not come pick her up right now?
I'd want to go ahead to our house and see if Irene is still around.
That's what I mean. You're correct to seek her out, and I hope you do so soon.
In addition, I still need to get a Christmas dessert. I wouldn't want to show up to Alice empty-handed.
Yes, it is correct. So, since the bakery nearby is still open for a while, Alice and I could go pick up a cake and spare you some work.
Mom, you made an excellent decision. Make sure she gets the flavor she desires. She deserves it. Okay, I have to leave now. I'll message you again in a moment.
We'll be there waiting for you.
Hey, Irene! Pick up that phone!
Oh, Galvin, you were the one who called. I mistakenly thought it was someone else.
Seriously, where are you at the moment? My mother has been watching after Alice all evening, and according to her, you failed to take her up. What's the deal? And, to make matters worse, why did you have to devour the entire dinner before any of us arrived home? I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. I'm at a loss for words.
Huh? Wait, you're already home?
Wasn't I meant to be home already?
It's simply that you said you'd be home late tonight.
Yes, I finished earlier than expected. Now tell me, where did all our food go?
Oh, well. I didn't want all that food to go to waste, so I said what the heck, I'll just dig in, better than having it go cold and uneaten, right? If you weren't coming home, I figured I'd bring my friend from the buffet home and we'd have our own small Christmas party.
And now you've gone out after all that eating? What are you doing now?
Oh, my friend and I were discussing getting drinks, so we're just hanging out at a bar. But is something wrong?
That's why I believed you were in trouble, but you were too darn busy drinking to go pick up Alice. You've got to be kidding me.
But, Alice, She's always really shy around new people, and she's never met this buddy of mine before, so she'd have a bad time going out with me and some girl she doesn't know, right?
That is not what I am referring about, and you are well aware of this. You left Alice, whom we plan to adopt as our own, alone with my mother to go to the party on your own, despite the fact that it was meant to be all about her tonight.
Is it really all about her? What exactly are you on about?
Oh, Irene, did you really forget?
What did I forget? I really don't know.
Do you recall how I asked you what day it was earlier today?
Yes, as I already stated, it is Christmas Eve. What do you think?
Today is a special day. Something more substantial than Christmas Eve.
What do you mean?
You claimed that you and I were on the same page and that I didn't need to bring it up, but it was plainly just you attempting to get me off your case. Because if you truly understood what I was saying, you would never have considered pulling a stunt like the one you did tonight.
Oh, really? Is this really so significant? I mean, I'm sure I remembered it from earlier in the conversation, but what was it again?
Today is Alice's birthday, you moron. I can't believe you overlooked such a vital detail.
Huh?
Don't you remember? Everything we had planned for today's party was supposed to help her get over what occurred between her parents and make some new, better memories. But you had to go be a glutton and devour the cake, the chicken, and everything else, you selfish, selfish lady.
Oh, hold on. Just a second, please. I assumed we received all of that food because it was food I enjoy eating.
Obviously, that's a factor. But I was thinking that we could all enjoy it as a family and make today seem special for Alice.
But I was just...
And that's not all. You mentioned you brought a girlfriend to our house for a party, but are you certain it wasn't a man friend? Maybe even a boyfriend, if I may be so bold.
Huh? Are you mad? How could you suddenly say anything like that?
Isn't it the competitive eater guy you've been hanging out with lately? You were observed holding hands as you came up to the home on your way back from your little date. While I was strolling down the street, I spoke with several of the more chatty neighbors. They didn't mind informing me what was going on.
No way.
Oh, and the neighbors said they heard you guys creating a bit of a commotion.
No way. You couldn't be serious, are you?
On my way home, I had a horrible feeling, so I asked Mom to watch Alice for a little longer while I checked things out. Thank God I trusted my instincts enough not to bring Alice home and show her what you'd done. That girl had been looking forward to tonight for weeks, with all the excellent food and the cake. I'm not sure what I could say to make her feel better about her favorite birthday supper being completely destroyed.
The funny thing is, you know.
We're getting divorced.
Huh?
Don't worry, I'll send your family a message about it as well.
I know you're mad with me, but could you please slow down for a second? You are the one who stated that Alice needed a mother in her life, correct? Wasn't that you?
Yes, but a mother who sneaks around behind her family's back and brings other men home on Christmas Eve isn't exactly what I had in mind for a wonderful mother.
But,
I'll pack your belongings and have a chip ready for anywhere you need it. Just tell me the address. You don't need to come back here, and frankly, I don't want you to.
No, just stop and listen to me.
I'm hiring a lawyer. They'll no doubt be pleased to walk you through the divorce paperwork and process.
I told you to stop and listen to me. You hear me? You're the one who's wrong here.
Please excuse me.
You only think about what Alice wants and needs. You no longer think about me. You're a terrible husband.
You say that, but weren't you seeing your iron stomach guy before Alice entered this family?
How did you do?
I remember it like it was yesterday. I watched him being interviewed online at least a year ago, and something he said stood out to me. He claimed that his girlfriend, Irene, enjoyed eating as much as he did and that he fell in love with her through food.
He mentioned my name during an interview?
I assumed it was a coincidence that we both had girlfriends with the same name at the time, but now I'm guessing that food-loving girlfriend was you, wasn't it?
Wait, let me clarify.
No need. See you later.
The following month, we divorced. I spoke with my lawyer, and we ended up asking for $22,000 for the settlement. My now ex-wife, Irene, was rejected by her parents and had to find a new job to pay alimony. Aside from that, the competitive eater she was seeing informed me that when they first met, she told him she was unmarried and never mentioned me. He profusely apologized to me and appeared forthright, so I assumed he was just as much of a victim as I was. Regarding Alice's birthday, my mother rapidly spread the news that we were throwing an unexpected party, and a large number of our relatives turned up at her house. Everyone brought dishes from home, and with the cake Mom and Alice chose that night, it turned out to be a vibrant, delightful event. Alice had a great smile on her face the entire night, and I drew a sigh of relief knowing that my family and I had rescued the day in some way.